What's up guys, Thomas McIntosh here with Macintosh Trading, and today I'm just bringing you guys a quick recap of the day today, Friday, August 27th. I'm just going to go over two trades and one that we swung overnight, but yeah, let's jump into it. Alright, so first up we have PXLW, which this one is still moving right now. The market is still open as I'm making this video. But this one ran from my alert today. I alerted at 570, I believe. Let me go back and check. Yeah, 573 was the alert, and it ran up to 609, and then it dumped a little bit, and then it ended up running again. So we actually took some profits up here, and then I actually added again down here, and then wrote it up here, and I definitely sold early, but we still got quite a decent profit. And I had a couple people asking me why I made this trade, because both entries and exits were, or I guess not the exits were on point, but like both entries were on point. So they were wondering why I made it. And if you guys remember a video that I made last week on how to identify stocks being manipulated up, this is the literal perfect example of a stock being manipulated up. And so I knew that this one was pretty much ready for another leg up because it had just been manipulated. So here you can see, this is when the manipulation starts. You can see just green candles. The volume was actually decent, which is surprising. Usually you see low volume pushing a stock higher, but this one, super green candles for no reason. There was no news. Actually, it had earnings over here, but the earnings didn't have any effect. This was the day of earnings, and earnings were in after hours, and then it ran up the next day, but then it actually dumped, but then it ended up coming back up. So this day I actually noticed the manipulation, and then it started dipping, but we caught this ride up a little bit, and then we took profits up here. I actually alerted that last week, and then this week I was waiting for another run because, as you can see here, it was holding gains, holding gains, holding gains. So as this holds its gains, I knew that it was ready for another leg up. So if you go back and look, I'm going to go to the 5-minute. If you go back and look at the chart, the last time it ran, which was not that day, it was this day, I think. So this day, it ran right away at open. Dipped the next like 30 minutes, and then the rest of the day was just rip all the way up. So I knew that that was likely what was going to happen again. So if you come back over here, I don't know why you have to refresh the chart every time. You can see today it did the exact same thing. It ripped right at open, take profits, it dumps a little bit, but if you buy this dip here, you'll be able to ride it all the way back up. So the exact same thing that happened the last time happened this time. And that's what's so like nice about these obvious manipulation plays, is that they pretty much have the same pattern like every time that they run, because whoever's artificially bringing that volume, they're clearly doing it at the exact same time. They have a plan for what they're doing. Like, this isn't just a random, okay, let's buy it this time, whatever. There's like a plan for it. So it kind of makes it easier to follow it and make money on it. Next up, we have SGOC, and this one was super tricky today. It actually popped in after hours, and it's been popping the last like couple days. If we scroll up to the daily, it had popped, it had some volume, and I figured someone was loading this up, and then it actually popped again in after hours. So I actually added in after hours and alerted it at 9:50, which is extremely unfortunate. In pre-market it dumped to 870 and actually did add some more, and then it ran up. I didn't sell up here. I was actually asleep. I missed it. I bought more on this dip, and then it ran up, and I just missed my sell. So it continued to dip. So I added more down here, I believe, somewhere down here. It might have been actually down here. And then it just continued to dump. So this one was a little tricky, but I had already made up my mind. I was like, I still think someone's loading this up just because of the volume recently. And we had SPRT run, which is just a heavy shorted play, and SGOC is heavily shorted as well. You guys know, or you guys maybe you don't know, but Wolfpack Research is shorting them. So there's just tons of shorts on them. And then BBIG today is running, which is just crazy. This is going to be a top watch in after hours and next week, so keep that one on watch. but Neuro was another one that squeezed. All these old low float runners are just getting squeezed, like MDIA a little bit, MRIN ran a little bit today. So that's kind of what put me on the radar for SGOC. So I just told myself, no, I'm not going to sell for a loss. I was down like 8,000. And then just right at open, it just zoomed. So I actually sold in the 1040 range, 1050 range, right around here, which I'm happy with. It ran up to 11. I wasn't trying to be greedy on a Friday. It did obviously keep running, but you can't be like mad about taking profits. So this was a really nice trade. And yeah, that was kind of my thought process on that one, because we'd seen these low float and high shorted names run, and I just kind of figured these old runners are running. So even though this is dipping, I think it's at a cheap price right now, so why not just hold on to it and see what happens, because at worst I lose like 15,000, at best I make like 20. So I don't know. Next, we're moving on to HUT here. This one is just a super quick explanation. Bitcoin, I knew it usually runs on Fridays, and the Feds were talking about inflation today, so this one was just kind of an easy one. Bitcoin ran up today, and then HUT, we got dip buys yesterday in the 670, 680 range, so right around here we loaded up, and then today it's just been on fire. It's almost near the high right now, 746, and if you go back and look at the daily, you had this resistance here. It had a top here on this candle, and then a top here on this candle, and then a top here on this. So once it broke through those resistances, it obviously has room to make another strong move, which it's doing today. And on top of that, it also had super strong call activity. So that one was just kind of an easy play to take, because of everything leading up to it. The Bitcoin moving, it needed Bitcoin to move to make a move, and it did, and it had the call activity the last week to support it. So that's why I took that trade. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, just make sure to like, subscribe, retweet it on Twitter, and I will be bringing more videos to you guys soon. I hope to do more recaps. Today was a perfect day to do recaps, just because there was a ton of stuff that ran, tons of stuff to scalp. I know I only went over a couple of plays, but I made tons of money on these plays today, so I will catch you guys next time.